This video is going to show you how to make levels, specifically with respect to your imported Rhino file. Since we've already done a lot of that design work, we can use a lot of the elements that we have in our Rhino file to start to create our Revit building information model. So a quick note here, and I mentioned in the last tutorial about importing your 3D object into Revit through a generic model first. If you have constant access to your computer and your file locations, then you can also link the file in. So if we go to Insert and Link CAD, we can you can work. You don't have to use the generic model workaround. The generic model workaround is mainly for importing. So when you go to Insert and you import CAD, it doesn't have the same ability to access, let's say, like the wall by face feature. Here, this is a linked model, and I can actually access that feature. And importing actually brings it into the model, as opposed to being a file path. Here you can go to your manage links, and you can see that this is a CAD format here, and I have a particular path, so you might just have to reload this if this is the way that you want to go. But if you've gotten this far, I wouldn't change anything. Let's just go ahead and talk about levels. So the first step that I would take after I brought this file in, let's go ahead and pin this element, is to go into an elevation and start to turn some things on and off in your imported categories here. So all I really need to turn off is the shell. So that's under massing shell. So we'll do apply here. And by the way, in your model categories, you can change. I mean, this is why it's called visibility graphics, because you can override a lot of the how the drawings look. Your generic model might be on halftone, and so I'm going to turn that off, and now you can see that those are full tone lines here. What do we do from here? Well, there's already a level 2 in here. I think it's at 20 feet, and the first step is to align this level to where we need it. So I'm going to go to Modify here. I'm going to use the Align tool, which is AL as the shortcut. I'm going to select the first level line that I have as a reference, and then select the level that exists. So now you can see that it's popped down to the level I need it at. So from here, I can use the Architecture and Level tool. The problem with the CAD file, though, is that it doesn't tend to snap to where we need it to. So I would rather use the Copy tool. So you select the level, and you can go to the Copy command, or use CO as the shortcut. And now you can see that it works, and I don't know why it doesn't snap on the levels. But anyways, let's go ahead, and you can see that I've actually made some levels here, so it's not going to auto-populate with the name. And you might want to turn multiple on. So what this will allow you to do is select multiple or copy multiple things at one time, and I'm gonna choose the roof here, and you can see it wants to snap in the vertical lines, so try and keep them all arranged. Now all of these levels, this is how Revit is designed, should snap together if you put them correctly on top of each other. And so if you need to expand this all, that's what this line means, that they're all gonna expand together. Whoops, you can also unlock it if you need to just expand one layer, like a roof and a ground floor. We also need our plenums here. So there's a couple methods. You can select all of your floors and copy them down if all of your plenums are the same, but you can see that mine are not, since this one's a little bit shorter. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy these again. So let's copy this down from here to here, and then here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here. And we could change these later if we need to. Now we should rename our layers, and if you're working in an office, you don't really have to do this that much, but a lot of this would be automated, and it would either be done through Dynamo at an advanced level, or you just have to do it very early in the project. This is sort of the housekeeping stuff. You can see these are all kind of weirdly named levels, right? So level 2 is right, but level 3 is not. So I'm just gonna go through and change each of these levels, and I might fast forward in the video here. Okay, so now I've renamed all of my layers. I've named the top one canopy, and the roof actually is a living roof that you can walk on. So I called that one the roof. You could also call this park. That's one option as well. What we're going to go through here and do is actually change these levels to let's say like level 2 plenum. You can name this whatever you want. You can actually keep it as the sort of generic name, because we're going to turn these off, but whenever we create new floor plans, it's nice to know that this is the level 2 plenum. And we can have some ceiling plans. These aren't quite necessary. I don't know that everybody uses these, but I like to have this level. And I go ahead and turn it off. So you see this check mark here. We don't need this header. We know that this is the bottom of the plenum. We just need this datum. And so now you can start to see that you're getting a very clean drawing. So we're still going to name these what we need to, and then turn them off. Okay, so this looks good for right now. We can create levels in the future, and we might have to. We might have to make a basement level or foundation level or a spread footing level or something like that. And we'll probably have to have something here for the plenum of something like the elevator hoist or something like that if we need another level here. But you can see I have all of my levels kind of neatly arranged, and maybe I'll rename this ground. And one more thing I want to mention is that if you already have an existing view and you rename it, it will rename all of the floor plans. So you can see that it didn't create level 3, 4, 5 floor plans, right? And that's because it's only going to create it if you tell it to create it. So if you go to View and Floor Plans here, by default the Do Not Duplicate is checked so that it can't ask us to, we already have a ground in level 2, but if we turn that off, you can see ground in level 2 up here. But you might want to go ahead and create levels 3, 4, 5, and roof and canopy. And then you can see that they'll populate here in order of their name. Going back to the north elevation, the last thing I want to show is that you can actually you can break these. So you can add what are called elbows or leaders, and what this allows you to do is if you want to keep your plenum name on, you can add a leader here, and then you have a nice clean drawing. Okay, I lied, that was not the last thing. The last thing is I just want to mention that your levels are not necessarily going to be in the same place for every view. So let's go ahead and go to an east elevation here. I tried to create the first level so that whenever you copy that one up, then it sort of populates to a nice area in the drawing. But you can see here that we still have to go through and uncheck these to turn them off. But most of your views should be basically created for you. But if you need to extend them or something, just know that if you do it in one, it might not populate necessarily in the other, so you just have to pay attention to that.